Welcome back, guys. We are continuing on with these Mechabellum 1v1 replays, and next up is a bit of a strange one. I played differently. I'm not quite sure why I decided to play differently, but I went for a peculiar approach. Let's just leave it at that. And the opponent seemed to play rather peculiar as well, so I thought I'd show it just because it's definitely different. I'm not sure how either my or the opponent's strategies would fare against a conventional playstyle, but it was interesting nevertheless. So I've started off with sledgehammers and crawlers, and I've got giant specialists, so I was clearly trying to make the giants work, which I have done quite a lot in this latest patch, because giants have had quite a significant buff in the latest patch, so I've just been trying to make them work. And the opponent has got crawlers. Oh no, sorry. He brought in crawlers. He started off. Oh no. Yeah. Crawlers and mustangs, and then he brought in a phoenix. So it's a peculiar placement for a phoenix, but he's obviously trying to snipe the tower, and he's going heavy on this right hand side. I've just gone for a sitting back approach. I'm not really sure why I brought the... yeah, so I put the crawlers further back than I normally would, because I don't usually go for sledgehammers, and sledgehammers are a lot slower than crawlers. So I was just trying to make sure the crawlers didn't go too far ahead. I think I did place them a little bit too far back though. So the sledges are doing pretty decent work on their mustangs, but obviously I haven't got any anti-air, and they've got a phoenix, so they're guaranteed to win the round. But if I had have had anti-air, it would have been a very close round. So I'll obviously address that in the next round. So, round one to the opponent. We've got Senior Manufacturing Specialist. So obviously, because I'm going for giants, this is a very good choice for me. Looks like he's gone for it as well. I don't believe that he actually built any giants in this, so I think that might have been a wasted tech that he's just bought there. I don't think he bought giants anyway. I'm obviously trying to work the numbers out to decide whether it's worth bringing in a giant on this turn. But 50 cash off a giant is pretty decent. Makes it an eighth cheaper. So he's going for a mobile beacon. He's obviously trying to fake attack over here and then flank over here, but that's a long journey, that is. I'm a bit dubious of this strategy. So I've brought in an overlord, and I'm sitting it quite far back because obviously I don't want to get sniped by the phoenixes. And obviously the mustangs. So these phoenixes almost made it over to this tower. So maybe it is a good strategy. And unfortunately my front line fell. So bringing in the giant on round 2 was probably not a wise decision. So I've gone for the barrier because obviously I'm playing giants. And I've decided that bringing in a Vulcan to deal with all these small units is the way forward. That'll ease the pressure on the Overlord. And I've stuck the barrier on him. I'm putting him quite close because I want to kill as many as I can before the barrier wears off. I don't believe that I could afford anything else. So I think it is just the Vulcan this turn. So I've bought a crawler, probably to protect from the Phoenix shots. It's an interesting placement. I was obviously thinking about putting one on either side. So the Vulcan's made short work of all them small units. He is going to get killed by the Phoenixes, but we've done a little bit better than we did in the previous round. But we've still got a bit of work to do because these Phoenixes are going to take down our Overlord. So we need some, because obviously we've got these crawlers that are still alive, but they move away from the Phoenixes because they haven't got anti-air, so they're not doing their job covering for the Overlord because they're moving away. So I'm going to need flying crawlers, basically, wasps, to try and cover for the Overlord. So there's two different options. I can obviously recruit wasps, or I can get this mothership upgrade where the Overlords themselves will deploy 4 wasps every 28 seconds. It's not much, 4 every 28 seconds, but it's usually just the right amount to be able to protect from Phoenixes. So, bit of hanging about, watching these crawlers die one by one. Two of them survived. Hooray! We finally dealt some damage, even if it is 14. Okay, so next up, we've got an item, we've got an underground threat ability, we've got an electromagnetic blast ability, or a missile strike. So I wasn't too keen on any of them options, so I decided to skip for the extra gold or supply so I could focus on my army. And I've upgraded the Overlord and I've given it the mothership ability, so that should help protect from the Phoenixes a little bit. And I've brought in another Overlord. That might be why I skipped, so I could afford this flank here. So I'm going for an Overlord flank, Obviously this is likely to catch them off guard because they've got basically nothing over here. He's putting rockets down. Personally, oh sorry, I put a rocket down and he put a rocket down. Personally, I'm not a massive fan of rockets because they just basically waste the supply that you could be spending on your army composition. So they're only really used as an emergency in my opinion, and mainly towards the end of the battle. If you use them early on, you're just hurting yourself in the long term. So the wasps are out and they are doing their job. They are covering for the phoenix, from the phoenix, sorry. But this overlord sadly did not survive, but this one's got quite a lot of wasps. So it's looking like we might actually win this round. Wasps have done a fine job and more come out just at the right time. Okay, so we've got Giant Hunter. I was about to say that would be a good pick for the opponent because obviously I've got 3 giants on the field. I decided to skip, wasn't interested in any of them. So I've brought in a crawler, most likely to help protect the Vulcan, or to protect the Overlord flank. That makes more sense. Bringing in some Mustangs, which I'm going to support over here, because it's pretty obvious that they're going to bring in something to deal with this. So the 2 most likely options were wasps or Mustangs of their own. So I've brought in Mustangs. I've actually put them over here. Oh, there we go. I've brought another set to support this Overlord. I'm moving it a little bit further away so a rocket that hits these doesn't hit them as well. So we've got the ranged ability on the Mustangs, so that's starting to work on the Phoenixes. Unfortunately, their Mustangs are chipping away at mine, but I think the crawlers have come at just the right time, just to distract them. Looks like we won on this side with our Mustang cover. And down goes both towers. And down goes all the Phoenixes. So we've got a really nice army composition going at the moment. We've got everything of theirs countered. So they're going to need to think of something outside of the box to try and recounter what I'm doing. So he's gone for an amplifying core. Not really sure what he's going to put that on, probably the Phoenix. Items like this are mainly good for either giants or rhinos. But yeah, it looks like he's putting all of his items on the Phoenixes. So we'll see if he supports this side or if he just lets it fall again. He's trying to bring his Phoenixes over to support. Now that is a long journey, that is. I'm wondering whether he's going to put quantum reassembly on. So I've decided to go for a Vulcan. Not 100% sure why I decided to go for a Vulcan, but I've clearly decided that I want more anti-small. Probably I was worried about them bringing in a load of their own Mustangs. So I've gone for another Vulcan over here with Mustangs behind. I might have just been using him to tank, but that's a bit of a strange unit to tank. And I've gone for a set of crawlers in front to cover for the Vulcan, so he doesn't die immediately to these phoenixes. He has not addressed this side over here. That's very strange. And he's using rockets a lot, so he's wasting a load of money on rockets. So we've easily dealt with everything they've got over here. We've got the flank taken, so this is game over. A very peculiar movement that he's been doing with his mobile beacon. I don't quite understand what he was trying to do, to be honest with it. Now, if he had quantum reassembly, then moving one Phoenix away from the battle would make sense, because it gives them time to respawn. But yeah, I'm really not sure what he was doing there. He's going for speed specialist, so it's just I'm confused. I'm really confused. So he's gone for his quantum reassembly now, so that makes sense. He's brought in some more wasps, and he's bringing them over here, so he is trying to address this situation. Not really sure if that's a good idea though, because these Mustangs are going to make short work of them. He has moved them though, but he needs something to address the Mustangs, really. So I've just decided to bring in some more of my own Mustangs over here. Bit of an awkward placement there. And I've brought some more over here. That's a more sensible placement. I'm bringing in some crawlers, probably to protect these Mustangs. See, I'm not really sure what I did that round. I didn't seem to buy much. 2 Mustangs and a crawler. Oh, I bought the aerial specialisation, that's what I bought. To help deal with the air units. So that we're going to have huge range against air units now. 165 plus an additional 30 when targeting air. So 135 plus 30, sorry, so 165 in total. So yeah, it was a strange one, a very strange one. I played very awkwardly, going for a setup and a army comp that I would not normally go for, and he played even more awkwardly. Maybe this was a first attempt at this strategy for him, and it just didn't work out, I don't know. But yeah, it was a strange one. Let's say that it was a strange one. But a good victory nonetheless. And all of the players that I'm playing against are all really high ranking. I don't know exactly how high, but probably in the top 2 to 500 in the whole game. In the world. So it's not like I'm playing against noobs. To get to the top 500, he must have put in about 300 hours. So he's had 300 hours worth of practice at least. So yeah, a strange battle. But that's why I wanted to show it. So I hope you enjoyed it. Join me in the next one. We'll see what that one holds. So take care, and I'll see you soon.